All right, welcome out to our weekly Mastermind call. So, right now, doTERRA has what they typically do annually is they'll do a rose oil promotion where they have they basically rose oil comes in a 5 milliliter bottle, and I think what's the price of it, like $500, something like that.
It's almost $1,000. I mean, the little one's like $400.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can times that by 3 for 15.
Right. But as far as you can't buy, they don't give it a $15, right? It's just $5. Okay, yeah. So they've got like this 5 milliliter bottle worth about $500, and however, it's worth more than $500 because you can't buy it. Like, I swear, if you were to take that rose oil and put it on eBay, I bet you that thing would go for about $2,000. Because you can't buy doTERRA rose oil, yet the only way to get it is to win it. Now, so they have this promotion. They run it typically once a year where they give you an opportunity to win the oil. And then they also have another oil called Jasmine, and Jasmine's just beautiful. That fragrance is amazing. And so Jasmine and Rose, and then they have 2 oils that they launched at some conventions over the last 2 years. One of the oils is called Aspire. It's a blend that was specific to the Aspire convention, which I think was 2 years ago. And then they have another blend, and it's the one blend. The Hope. Hope. No, it's not Hope. You can buy Hope. Hope is the Operation Underground Railroad one. Courtney, do you know what? I'm driving, so I'm not looking at my computer screen, but they have the Aspire blend. They have the other blend, and I'm not certain what it is. And then they have Jasmine and Rose. And basically, what you need to know is that you can get the rose oil only if you get 10 enrollments by the end of February. But if you want to get all of those oils, you get 20 enrollments by the end of February. They give you Rose, Jasmine, the Aspire blend, and I think it's the one blend.
Yes, that's the one blend.
The one blend, yeah, okay. So those are the 4 oils, and I know that you can get them in varying. If you get like 4 enrollments, you're going to get the Aspire blend. If you get 6 or whatever, you get 1, and then 7 get you Jasmine, and then if you get 10, you get Rose. But they don't combine. The only way to get all of them is if you actually enroll 20 people by the end of February. So here's the thing. I really want Rose. As this is going to sound stupid to all of you, but I've never done it. I've never actually. I've got the Jasmine oil, but I've never won Rose. And so the first thing I want to ask the Mastermind is why would Rose be worth running for anyway, other than it's extraordinarily rare? I read a book, The Healing Oils of the Bible, and in that book they actually mentioned that rose oil has the highest frequency of any oil, and it's by a lot. And so, and your frequency, like the frequency of an individual, determines when they get sick and all kinds of things. And so, like negative thoughts, for example, brings your frequency down. Interestingly enough, prayer brings your frequency up. It was interesting that they said drinking a cup of coffee actually lowered your frequency for like quite a while, but the essential oils had the ability to raise your frequency. And I remember that Rose had an extremely high frequency. So my question first of all to the Mastermind is, why do you even want to run for Rose oil? And then I want to talk about how are we going to get it. So if you want to enroll 10 or if you want to enroll 20, and I would enroll 20 just to get that Jasmine oil because I want the Jasmine and the Rose. They're amazing, beautiful oils. So anyway, let's open that up. Star 5 star will raise your hand. Why is rose oil so awesome? Maybe if you've actually had rose oil what's been your experience with it? Why do you find it so valuable personally? And also, what makes it special in general? So, star 5-star will raise your hand. Jacqueline, has anybody raised their hand yet?
Hey, Seth, this is Court. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
actually, it's really funny because I have 2 of these. I've actually won rose twice now. And they kind of sit on my shelf unopened and just, for me to adore. I'm actually, so scared to use them because it's like, what if I don't ever get it again? This has to last me a lifetime.
Yeah, it's like this rare thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so for me, it's actually, I like. They have been open, and actually what I've done with them is there's been 2 times that I felt prompted to give someone a sample of rose. And that's actually where my rose is gone. It's just people that have gone through some traumatic experiences that they're trying to overcome. But what does it for me, why I want the rose, is just because that, competitive side of me totally kicks in this time of year. Seriously, I know that oils are great, but I'm just going to talk pure competition for a second here because when someone dangles this carrot in front of you and is like, this is the only time you can get this, there's just something in me that is like, I'm going to get that, right? And so it's just crazy, but the reason why I want it is just because I'm competitive and I want to be on that list that I got it because you can't buy it. It's rare, right? So take the healing properties away. The fact that you only have one opportunity to do that is what makes me want it. Not to discredit how amazing the oil is itself with the healing properties. I'm just saying there's something about the competitive side that makes me want to go do this, and I do it.
So you're...
I know, it's totally stupid, right?
Yeah. So your reason to go get it is because it's a competition. That's great.
Yeah.
But what I was asking you was, what are the healing benefits of rose?
I know, and I'm telling you, I haven't used it, but just the fact that competition is there makes me go and earn it, and I've earned it twice now. So, I'm just saying, hey, this is a mastermind. I'm just getting real here, okay? Some of us do it for competition.
No,
okay?
I get it. No, it works.
Actually, rose oil is in Immortelle.
It's in Immortelle, and it's in the rose lotion.
Right, rose lotion, which we buy regularly because 100% of that purchase goes to Healing Hands.
Right.
And so we actually buy the rose oil lotion. I think we put one on every month for that purpose.
Okay, so you have you're experiencing rose oil a lot.
Right.
Yeah, we have it in the lotion as well.
Okay. Right. And all of us are using a little bit of it.
Right.
So I know it's really good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I interrupted, so I'm going to stop talking now.
No. Has anybody raised their hand?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, Virginia, go ahead.
I want to earn the rose so I can help with the skin issue I'm dealing with. I've listened to people talk about having major skin issues, and using the rose helps you do that. I was really blessed to be given an empowering oil that Brianna and Bryant made for their leaders, and I'm using it, and it just to power through some things. But contest to me, I struggle with that. I always have. It's like I'm putting myself out there and saying, I'm better than you are, and you can't do it. And I just want to help them behind the scenes. I don't like to be in front. It's like I'm being unkind and I'm pushing and I'm doing all the things you're not supposed to do. So having a desire to do it, yes, but doing it in a way that I lift and strengthen people and it doesn't feel like it's all about me. And that's an inner thing I work with.
Okay, well, you know what? Unless there are other hands raised, then Jeff, you can tell me that. But if there aren't any other hands raised, then I actually want to get into how can we win this oil? It's so valuable. It's so rare. I think it's got some ridiculous number of rose petals, makes just a drop or something. But yeah.
We have three hands raised, actually. Do you want to
go ahead.
go in with how to earn it, or do you want to? Okay. So Wanda Thomas.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. I am so nervous and excited about getting to talk on the Mastermind call today. I won Rose and Jasmine not the last time that they offered it, but the previous time. And it was kind of like Courtney was talking, that competitive nature in me was just like, I've got to win it. And I won them. And when I received both of them, first of all, things got confused at doTERRA, and I didn't receive them when I should get them. So I thought, oh, something got messed up. One of my enrollments didn't count. Those little negative thoughts in my head were saying, oh, you're not going to get it. So I contacted doTERRA, and they checked, and sure enough, I did qualify to win those. And so I received them. When I opened them, I loved the way Jasmine smelled, and I hated Rose. I love the way roses smell, and I thought I would love rose oil, but I hated it. It was just the most revolting, awful smell to me.
Hey, thanks, Wanda. We appreciate it.
I'm like, okay, what am I going to
do? No, keep going. I'm just kidding with you.
Like, what am I going to do with this oil? So my goal was to have every oil, so I thought, okay, I'm putting it in my box. I'm working on getting every oil. I have Rose. So this past year, I've been going through major personal growth and development, and really, really trying to figure out my purpose, my mission, what I'm supposed to be doing, and how to do that. And I thought when I first was introduced to oils, I didn't have any emotional issues. I thought everything was physical. Everything had to be black and white. It was in the book, yada, yada, yada. Well, anyway, so as part of my personal development, I've been reading and doing my vision board and my affirmations and growing with leaps and bounds. And my mentor, who's Sharon Stevens, who is my niece, we was mentoring one day, and she's like, God has told me this blend for you to use to help you. And I've been working on letting go of a bunch of junk that I had in my past that I just couldn't let go of. And she's like, you have rose oil, right? And I'm like, oh, God. Yes. What do you want me to do with it? She gave me a blend, and if she gave it a name, I don't recall, but I named it my Forgive and Release Oil. And the blend had 1 drop of rose, 3 drops of thyme, 3 vetiver, 3 white fir, 1 geranium, and 1 lemongrass. And I hated geranium also. And so I mixed it up and started. I said, okay, I'm open. I'm going to try it. And, oh, my goodness, I can't explain to you what happened. It's just like my heart started opening, and all that junk that I'd been just stashing down in there just started releasing. And the way I describe it is I've been pulling a suitcase of junk, and as things happened in my life, like I had failures and whatever, I just put them in my suitcase and thought I dealt with them and just kept on going through life pulling my suitcase. So as I was letting this stuff go, it kind of felt like I opened it up, and white doves just came out. And wow. I just can't describe the way I feel. It's light, it's airy, it's beautiful, it's just wonderful. And guess what? My business started just popping like firecrackers. And so I hit Premier last month, and for the first time, and am on my way to silver because I want to go to leadership. So I love it. And today I love the way it smells. So, and I looked up in the emotions book. And it's the oil of divine love. So it says it's a powerful healer of the heart and supports an individual in reaching heavenward and connecting with divine love. So there you go.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it's interesting too because sometimes the aromas that really that we're repulsed by, a lot of times it's the things that we have to deal with and we don't want to deal with them. So it's kind of fascinating, Great. Jacqueline, who else do we got? Thanks, Wanda. That's a beautiful share, by the way.
Well, I have to say about that blend, every single oil in that makes my stomach go bleh, except for the white fir and rose. So I must really need that blend. Okay. Here is Erica de Benedictus.
Yeah, great. Erica, go ahead.
Hey, Seth. So I have I have an answer to a different question that you didn't ask. But I love Desiree's book, I Am Fabulous. And one of the blends in it is called Royalty. And you need jasmine oil for this blend. And jasmine brings out the purest and most beautiful side of you and helps you to walk with poise, grace, and elegance. So this really cool Royalty blend requires jasmine. And I have like 3 drops left of my bottle of jasmine. So I need to like replenish so I can make this again.
That's perfect. That's wonderful. That's great. If Desiree's on the call, maybe at the end of the call, Desiree, you can give us a blend that includes rose oil so that everybody knows why they need to have it. Okay, who else?
Vicky Stansbury. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I love what everybody has to say. And I have to admit, when I first got Rose, I did win it one year and I missed out 2 other years. But I have to go along with Courtney. Boy, they put that carrot out there, and I think I won it. But anyway, when I first opened the bottle of Rose, I thought, this is horrible. And I closed it up, and I didn't even open it. I just looked at it for quite a while. And then I opened up it again, and when I opened it, I just went, oh, my gosh, what have I been missing? And our girls are in doTERRA, too, and every time they come over and we kind of get the oils out, everybody says, okay, where's the rose? And I kind of have it hidden away because you do use it sparingly. But it is the aroma, I mean, it is just amazing to me now. But it's so interesting she said that when she first smelled it, I thought, gosh, this is supposed to be wonderful, and it doesn't smell good at all. But then I let it sit probably 6 months, and I opened it again, and I thought, oh, my goodness, this is wonderful.
It sounds like it's almost an emotional or spiritual thing people are going through at the their time that kind of determines that.
Yeah.
Well, like I was mentioning, the oil, it does have the highest frequency of any oil. And, when you think about it, depending on where you're at, that could be very attractive or very repelling, depending on how you're doing. I actually wonder how I would do with it right now. But let me just say one other thing before we get into how to actually get it. So 10 enrollments. By the time the end of February hits, we get the free rose oil. 20 enrollments get you all of the oils, including rose and jasmine, Aspire, and One. So I want to open this up to say, especially for those of you who've won it in the past, 10 enrollments is no joke. But let's say that everybody on our team, let's say that even just the people on this call, all of them got 20 enrollments by the end of February. Could you imagine the actual momentum that would be created in your doTERRA business? I mean, rose would end up being all of our favorite oils because we have a whole bunch of diamonds pop. So my question to the mastermind is, how do you enroll 10 or 20 people in 2 months? There it is. Star 5 star or raise your hand. Jacqueline, I'm going to kind of let you call on people as they raise their hand.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Jacqueline, my line got unmuted. Can I go ahead?
Yes, I'd love that.
Hey, this is Holly Orgill. To that question, I love that it's a win-win for anyone that enrolls with the New Year, New You promo, because if they have any type of basic enrollment and then set up their 100 LRP, then they get 100 free points in February, and that's $100 of free oils. And so I love that it's not, I don't feel like I have to push anything, because it's just like, man, you guys, you win just as much as I win, you know?
Right. So
it's,
take advantage of New Year, New You.
More than a win-win. Absolutely. And all you have to do is just log your event and then have the person put that, there's like a password that they go in and put in. I think it's New Year, New You 2017 or 17 or something. And they get it. So it's really simple.
Right. So rule number one, take advantage of the current promotion. Again, because right now, someone enrolls with a 100 PV enrollment kit, sets up a 100 PV loyalty rewards order for February. doTERRA will give them 100 loyalty reward points to spend on what they want, which is $300 basically. So.
Hey, Seth, this is Court.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is just so interesting sometimes, because I think sometimes it's no different than anything else. It's no different than what I should be doing on a daily or weekly basis all year round, right? But I'm just going to get real. It is. So, you know, when this came out, I got really excited about it, and I'm like, okay, basically I need to know a few things. I need to know what my ratios are. How many people do I have to talk to get enrollments, right? And looking at stuff, and I'm like, look, there's like 7 weeks left or whatever here. It's like 4 enrollments a week. So I need to be showing the presentation 6 times a week to get 4 enrollments a week, right? And so for me, it just came down to like really simple math and just knowing what my ratio is. And when I know that, I know how many people I have to get in front of. And this isn't any different than if you're shooting for a rank advancement or, you know, volume in your organization. You have to know clearly what it takes to get there. And then it just breaks it down and makes it easy. I'm like, okay, 4 enrollments a week. Here we go. So then I went to my calendar, started scheduling classes, started contacting people. And, you know, it's interesting. I was talking to one of the leaders on my team, and she's like, you know, how are you finding people? Because we have a competition just between me and her. Whoever gets the 20 enrollments pays the other one $100. So she's like, you know, how are you doing this? Tell me your step-by-step here. And I'm like, well, here's exactly what I did. The very first thing I did was jump on Facebook. And I started seeing people that were commenting on their health. I started sending them private messages. I sent out 6 samples in one day, right? I mean, it's just like, how is this any different than any other times a year? But again, like I said, for me it is. But the process isn't different, right? I look at my names list, I start contacting them, I schedule classes and get those, you know, going, and then you start inviting people like crazy to get that done in 2 months. So it comes down to, like, why you really want that oil, which I love how you talked about that in the beginning. You know what I mean? Why do you want it to put in that level of commitment and exercise to get a 5 milliliter of bottle, right? And then you look at what that will do for your organization over the next several months. I mean, it's just, to me, it's like, why would anybody not want to push for this for so many reasons? You know what I mean? But I think it just is getting clear on, you know, how many, like, break it down on a weekly basis and on a daily basis. What do you need to do every day? I know for me, I need to be scheduling on Monday 6 appointments that week.
Yeah, in fact, while we're doing this, so we've got 4 weeks, basically 4 weeks in February, and we've got, another 3 weeks this month, basically, including this week. So we've got 7 weeks. 20 enrollments would break down about 3 enrollments per week from now until the end of February. And then if you just wanted to get the rose itself, then cut it in half. So it's 1.5 enrollments from now until the end of February. And so if we were to figure that out, like you're right, it comes down to our ratios. So out of let's say we created a names list of 100 people. Out of that 100 people, how many enrollments could we get? And basically just say, yeah. I mean, if it's 1 out of 4 people, then that means I got a 3 enrollments a week means 4 times, so I got 12. I got to be inviting at least 12 people per week, which is ironically 2 people a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah. But it was just that clarity for me, like, how am I going to make that possible? And then I started doing it. I mean, I sat down, and within 15 minutes, I had a list of 35 people. I've already been contacting, already have, classes and things scheduled with them, samples out. I mean, it was just one of those things that's like, why am I waiting till now to do this? But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is it can be that simple. It can be that simple. When we look at 20 enrollments over 2 months, we can panic over that. But when you break it down, it can be that simple.
Yeah. Hey, Catherine, would you mind controlling some of the background noise? Someone's making noise.
Sure. So all of you diamonds that are unmuted, you need to mute yourself. Okay. So that's 6713 is the end numbers for somebody raise their hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, hi. My name is Deborah. You know what, I agree with the last caller because that's what I did. I decided I really need new rose and jasmine because mine are almost empty. And I want to solidify platinum and start my diamond legs. So I was already looking at how to enroll more people anyway and to start my diamond legs. So this came at a really opportune time for me because I had about 3 or 4 people in the wings that I was waiting for New Year, New You to open up. And then the other thing I did is I took my old planter from 2016, that would be a trick. Anyway, from 2016, and I went through it looking for people that I might have forgotten about that I just, and so I had a whole nother list of people that I had contacted, forgotten about. They had just slipped through the cracks. And then the third thing I did is I looked at all my enrollments, personal enrollments from last year, and the people that were not already building. And I made a promotion for them that if they gave me a referral, I would give them a free oil. And by the time I got done with that, I have a huge list, and I'm really busy right now, and I expect to well have 28 new enrollments in hand.
Wow. That's fantastic. So you did 3 things. The first is you did the math. You figured out how much you'd have to do on a weekly basis. Second is you went back to the year before and figured out who had slipped through the cracks and who was maybe some low-hanging fruit that maybe even had already been to a class or whatever, just need some follow-up. And then you ran a promotion to the people who weren't building. So anybody who had signed up and would be willing to give you a referral, you give them a free oil. I love that. What a great plan. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, Alonso has his hand raised.
Cool. Go ahead, Alonso.
Hey, so I totally agree with Courtney and the last caller when it comes to just working with the numbers. And I love this topic because it totally goes along with the concept of just planting seeds. So you might be doing this for the rose oil, right? You might be doing the activities. You might be contacting, sharing the oils and all that stuff with people during this time frame when it comes to trying to earn that rose. But the amazing thing that's going to happen, and this is really like what catapulted us to Diamond in 13 months, was that intense activity for 2 months, sharing samples with 10 people a week, right? And it all didn't happen during that time. Like the enrollments and the classes, all that stuff didn't happen during like that first 2 months. But it literally exploded our organization right afterwards, where those seeds were replanted, like heavy plantation when it comes to like sharing the oils, all sprouted. We reaped the harvest right after the planting season. So this is an amazing opportunity, not just for like the earning of the rose oil, but also for the explosion growth of your business when it comes to the activities that you're committing to in the next 2 months?
Yeah, I think that right now, if you're a business builder, look, if you were to commit all of like your key builders to just try to get the free rose oil, and if that's all that you did in all of your mentoring calls from here on out, if you're just, look, how can you get the free rose oil? All these ranks would happen in the meantime. I mean, it'll be a fantastic thing if you were to do that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yes, I'm here too, Desiree. I have a blend with rose.
Oh, perfect.
Because my phone's dead. Okay, so this is Open My Heart. And rose is one of the greatest oils to help you learn to receive, like receiving love, receiving abundance, receiving God's grace and His blessings. So here we go. It's for a 5 ml roller bottle, and it starts with 5 drops of rose, and then 3 drops of Roman chamomile, and then 2 jasmine.
Now, this is an expensive oil.
Yes, it is. So you better get your jasmine, too. And then 3 drops of lavender. And lastly, 1 drop wild orange. And you're going to fill it up with coconut oil. Definitely roll on the heart and the inside of the wrist.
Man, that sounds awesome. I'm going to do that just for that blend. That sounds beautiful.
Awesome.
Oil that costs that much, it's got to be on.
Yeah, if it costs that much, it's got to be freaking amazing. Perfect. You know, and actually the thing is that you could make, there's 85 drops in a 5 ml bottle. You could make a lot of those bottles and give those away as gifts to people that need, help with receiving. So I think that's, man, when you think about it, you actually don't just put your oils on the shelf. You can actually do a lot of good with that oil.
Yes, and one last thing I would say, don't try to save all of your oils. Use them. I know sometimes we're like, no, I'm just going to smell it. I'm not going to put it on, because I was there too. And I got over that, and I said, no, it's worth it. Even though this is the only bottle I have, I went through my bottles of rose pretty fast. It helped me to lift up to a new space. And it opened me up. So it was so beneficial to use it. So don't just savor it and never use it. Make the blend, put it on, and share it away.
Well, yeah, the other thing is that if you use it, then you got to earn it again next year. And I was actually thinking about this morning. I was thinking about what would happen if a person just enrolled one person per month. It would be about 12 enrollments a year. And I was just thinking, what would happen if people just did one person per month? And I don't know that it would create a massive amount of momentum, but it certainly would create a lot, especially if everybody did it, right? And but in reality, all that it is if everybody just earned the rose oil every single year, your businesses would explode. So anyway, thanks for encouraging us to use it. Any other hands, Jacqueline?
Not so far. I just changed the poopy diaper, so I'm a little bit behind, but I don't see any other hands.
That's money. Okay. Well, I think.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah, go ahead, Court.
Hey, just one other thing that I would add to this of how to earn that is, one, declare that you want to do that, and then get yourself an accountability partner. Whether this is your normal mentor or, whatever. Like I did that with one of my leaders. She really wanted it. I'm like, let's hold each other accountable. Let's do this, right? And so I think it's just important, like with any goal, that you declare that to someone and have them help hold you accountable for that.
Right. Great point. I think if we were to, I think if what we've learned from the call so far is that get the oil. First of all, it's worth it to get it. Secondly, if you wanted to win all 4 oils, it would take 3 enrollments a week. And And so figure out what your ratios are. If it means that you have to talk to 10 people to get one enrollment, then you're going to talk to 30 people per week. And that's, if you were doing this for 5 days a week, that's 6 people a day. That, it just isn't that hard, really. Even if it's 1 in 10, which I'd say it's probably less than that. But let's say that it was 1 in 10, then 6 people a day still gets you all of those oils. Figure that out. Go back, like was mentioned earlier. Go back to the people that you taught over the last year or so, and find the low-hanging fruit. Maybe run some promotions for referrals in your group if you feel like that would be helpful, and get an accountability partner. I promise you that if you were to find people on your team, just say, hey, do you want to win the rose oil? Just ask that. Just call everybody on your team and ask them if they want to win the rose oil. And then say, I need an accountability partner. Would you like to do that with me? And if you end up having 5 accountability partners, perfect, right? I mean, you call everybody in your downline, you got 10 people running for it. Well, guess what? In 2 months, you're going to have 100 new people on your team with 10 people. If they go for all 4 oils, you're going to have 200 people on your team with 10 people doing the actual competition. So my challenge to everyone is
to it on the enrollment stuff, like the volume. So if they got the minimum of, a family essential kit, that's 110 BV. So in the course of, those 20 enrollments, you just increase your volume over 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Even when you break it down, it's like that. It's like, what is that, growth of 2,000 going to do for your organization? How many different ranks are going to be created from that? When you start, like I said, looking at all of that, to me, it's just like so incredible. It's like, yeah, everyone do this. You're going to have executives popping up all over the place. There's going to be lots of excitement. And all of that movement is going to come with you into the next month, especially if you combine that with the New Year, New You promo, where they get on a $100 LRP for that month and get 100 back. Then you're talking about that doubling the next month. It's just insane. Like, it just starts blowing my mind when I sit there and look at all the numbers and think about that.
Well, Court, think about it. If you just got 10 people to commit to you to be your accountability partner on your team, right? So if you call 10 people on your team, you're like, hey, do you want to win this free oil? I need an accountability partner. Will you do that with me? And if you had 10 people that did it, let's just go big and say that they went for 20 enrollments over 2 months. That's 20,000 OV. 20,000. Plus the loyalty rewards that are happening, plus and that's if they got the smallest kits. And then you consider the amount of people that we're going to find that want to build the business. I just want to challenge everybody. That's the point of today's call. Whatever it is, you decide to get the oil, but more than that, find the people on your team that need to do it. And there were 4 steps we gave all of you that you could use with each of those people to make sure that they get it. And if you do that, then make a whole bunch of roller bottles of the blend that Desiree gave us, and give those out as gifts and see what happens in your business. I really feel like if we take advantage of this promotion, we can start to create some of these 1,000 diamonds that are going to happen. So anyway, I hope that you found this call helpful. If there aren't any more hands raised, then we'll go ahead. I had some feedback from somebody that said that the calls probably need to be shorter, and so I don't want to try to make the calls last an hour. I want to get the point out and then end it if possible. So are there any other calls, Jacqueline, or can we go ahead and end it?
No, I don't. Wait, actually, someone just raised their hand.
Okay, cool.
It's 7199. 7199.
Hey, Seth, can you just repeat that?
Can I repeat the what?
That blend that Desiree gave us one more time.
Yeah, sure. Desiree, would you mind giving us that again?
I'm sorry.
I believe it was 5 drops rose, 3 drops Roman chamomile, 2 drops jasmine, 2 drops lavender, 1 drop wild orange. Did I get it?
3 drops lavender.
3 drops lavender.
Everything
Okay.
else is right.
Okay, so I had 5 drops orange, 3 drops Roman chamomile.
No, 5 drops rose.
Yep.
So 5 drops rose, 3 Roman chamomile, 2 jasmine, 3 lavender, and 1 wild orange.
And then the rest is coconut oil in a 5 ml bottle, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then I'm also, just for the sake of everybody, I gave you a little action plan. Do the math, figure it out. It turns out to be about, if it takes 1 out of 10 people, 6 contacts a day, or figure out what your ratios are and figure that out. I kind of gave you worst case scenario. So figure out the math. Number 2, you are going to go in the past, look at everybody who's come to classes in the past and look for low-hanging fruit. Number 3, find the people on your team that aren't interested in building but might want a free oil and offer them a promotion for referrals. Number 4, find accountability partners on your team. If you can, get as many as you can. Like I said, 10 people as accountability partners would generate 20,000 OV doing this promotion. So I think if we were to take those action steps, we're going to see a lot of growth on our team, and we all get Rose, Jasmine, Aspire, and One. Those are great oils to have. I hope you found this helpful. We'll talk to you all next week. Thank you.